Hi, guys. Hope you're having a great evening. It's Fred and Sheila with Hatfield McCoy Museum Adventures and FS Investigates.
Hey guys, thanks for joining us. Going to be an interesting video for some of you if you can see the background there. In fact, she made a toenail or a thumbnail, whatever it is, like that. Couldn't even get them all in the picture,
Yeah, that's as many
but
as I
we're
can
going to go
get.
over a bunch of these today. Guys, I want to say I was a police officer for 40 years. I know a lot of you already know that, but I wanted to repeat it in case there's any new viewers. This is not somebody on here that says, hey, let's bash the police. I hate the police. I don't hate the police. I love the police. I spent 40 years doing it.
That's right.
We need the police.
Sure.
This world, this country would be in a terrible shape without the police. The bad thing is, we've got some bad police, just like bad ministers, bad bankers, bad everything there is. There's always going to be bad,
There's always good and bad and everything.
good and bad in everything. But it seems like, and all I'm concentrating on today, if you'll look in the background, is Kentucky State Police. Now there's bad cops. There's Danville, Kentucky had three police officers beat up a man with dementia, tackle him to the ground. There's case after case after case. But this today is going to be specifically about the state police. And the reason it's about the state police is to show the pattern. There's a pattern of behavior here. There's a pattern of misbehavior. Now, why is that? I think it's on Sheila's side.
Which one you looking for?
I'm looking for, I can't, up there it is. There's Philip Burnett Jr.
But
That's,
I
you
think
can't,
he's going to be on your side.
yeah,
Though.
it's hard to see it on this wall. That is the commissioner of the Kentucky State Police, guys. That's the head honcho. He was appointed by the governor, Andy Beshear. I guess they're friends. I guess they're whatever you appointed them for. It wasn't to improve, to better the Kentucky State Police. It wasn't. Because most of the ones that you see on that board up there are under his administration. Most of those troopers that you see up there in court, in jail, charged, whatever it is, he's been over. He's looked at their cases. He's signed off on them, approved for them to continue working. That's what he's done. And we're going to go over some of these cases today. And do you have that thing is that up there where it goes through them?
Yeah,
Okay,
I'll have to bring that up.
Go ahead and do
Yeah, I've
that.
already got that ready.
Go ahead and do that. I want to give them an example here, and then we'll get on with it.
Okay, just a second. Takes me a second here, guys. Sorry. And
You're okay. You're okay.
oh, that's the last of them. There starts
Okay.
your whole.
Now, guys, I want to say this, and then we'll continue on. Go ahead and take it back to the.
To us.
Yeah.
Okay. There we go. Now let's see if I can enlarge it. Yeah.
A disclaimer. If I've made a mistake, please contact me. I'll correct it. Every video you see right there, those are videos.
Hmm.
They are on Fred McCoy 40. That's my YouTube page. Now, a lot of people think 40 stands for where I was a police officer for 40 years. That it can go that way, but actually my unit number was 40 for 30 of those 40 years. If I've made a mistake, contact me. I'll correct it. Getting a touch of dementia, so it's not hard for me to make mistakes. Innocent until proven guilty. Some of those people haven't gone to trial yet. Everybody's innocent until proven guilty. You guys watch the videos, Google their names, Google the news, it'll come up. That's where I watch the news and do a video on it. I do these videos, guys, not to down people. I know it seems like it. I do these videos to bring attention to what's going on in our police community. I do that to bring attention to these officers and these officers' friends and these officers' fellow officers. So they say, well, we don't want to be like that. We don't want to be on that YouTube channel. We don't want to be in the news. It's not to belittle, it's not to defame, it's to bring attention to them as far as let's do better. Let's quit this, guys. Let's quit. This is the Kentucky State Police. This is not another agency. This is one agency. And this is in the last few years. Innocent until proven guilty. Alleged, speculate, and I give my opinion. Now, she'll put a disclaimer at the back of the video. We
Sure will.
always do,
Hmm.
but just for legality reasons. Guys, I've said it before and I'll say it again. We've sold our house, everything. We don't, we live in an apartment. We don't have a pot to pee in or a window to throw it out of. So I'm really not worried about, I try to make sure that we don't do something. It's not as much about being afraid of a lawsuit because I've got friends that's attorneys. One thing I have made in my life as being a police officer was friends and attorneys. But I don't want to misjudge or misrepresent or do anything against anybody that's incorrect. We don't.
Right.
We don't.
Exactly.
Sheila's not going to. Sheila don't. But I do allege, speculate, and I give my opinion. I believe that you should have one strike and you're out. In law enforcement field of work, I believe that a police officer should have one strike and you're out. I believe that a minister, I know we can redeem ourselves. I know we can ask forgiveness for our sins. I know we can, but I remember back, I always get off sidetrack. That's why you never know what you're going to get with me. And I'll just go ahead and use this example, and this is not in the script, but how things come to me. And
Hmm.
I remember back when I was a kid, every Sunday morning I'd watch Jimmy Swaggart, my grandmother, Jimmy Swaggart. Loved him, faith in him, good man. Went in the Marine Corps at 17 years old. Jimmy Swaggart's on one of the either Playboy or Hustler or whatever, some kind of man magazine. He's in there where he's with this lady, prostitute. That was a minister. That was a minister people had faith in. There's people out there that's got faith in somebody, friends, family, relatives, neighbors. They had faith in these people up here. These people on this board behind me have done something wrong or connected to somebody that's done something wrong. Because I don't know the thumbnails that we're looking at.
I got
They
individual pictures there, so when we get
we're
started,
going to go through them. Well,
yeah.
we're going to try to explain, but
But
go ahead, babe.
sorry, the thing is, police officers hold the public to account for accountability on what they do. So who they need to be held
Yeah,
for accountability on what they
and
do.
I couldn't put it no better. Thank you.
I mean,
See,
that's
I'm a
what
man of few words. But right here is really the one of few words, but what she says makes sense. And you're exactly right. Uh, we hold other people accountable, and we're going to discuss that on at least one of these cases here. One of these cases concerns, well, several of them's theft, but one of them's theft, and they let the trooper bring back the stuff that he had stolen and called it, we're even. How many of you's ever done that? How many of you's ever stole something in your life or know somebody that stole something? State police come to arrest them or investigate it, and you say, "Hey, here it is. I'm giving it back. Let's forget about it." Oh, we can't forget about it. Put your hands out. You're under arrest. And that's the way police work. But yet, when you're dealing with an organization, especially with this organization, and especially with that guy up there in the top corner, I don't know. Everything's backward to Sheila
It
and
should
me.
flip though. Now I think it'll be on your side when the video runs.
But they went before, from what I can understand, Burnett,
Mm.
return it. It's over. It's okay. It's over with. Protect and serve. You hear me say that a lot, but some way we got off the protecting and serving, and we got on this path of beating and shooting, mistreating people. You know, guys, the Kentucky State Police has lowered their standards till used to be you had to have a years ago 2-year degree or at least experience to that would match to it. Then they went down to high school diploma. Now they've gone down to a GED. You can go ahead and put him up if you want. You know, it's funny, have our dogs, they never move. They lay around this house, they never move until we make a video, and they'll go over and get in that food or water dish. And that's what you're hearing crunching over there. But now it's gone to GED. Anybody can be a, and that's why we're getting such low quality police officers. It doesn't take, you know, police officers are not some of your smartest people. It doesn't take, I don't want to insult police officers, but it doesn't take a lot of education, doesn't take a lot of, it takes some guts, and it takes, know how to read and write to make a report to be a police officer. And that's why we're getting some of what we're getting now. Not that they've not been out there for years, but it seems like it's overwhelmed us. Part of it's the training, part of it is the people that we're getting, but the other part is the people that's in charge of these troopers, and they're letting them run wild. It's troopers gone wild. Instead of girls gone wild, it's troopers, Kentucky State troopers gone wild. And this is not even all of them. This is not even the ones that we don't see, the ones that never make the news, the ones that we didn't put out there. You know, once upon a time, you couldn't have a give you a polygraph, and if you'd done drugs or fool with drugs or sold drugs or anything, you couldn't. There's no way you could have been a Kentucky State Police or even a police officer, but especially a Kentucky. This was the cream of the crop.
Mm-hmm.
Kentucky State Police, the FBI. I once thought they could walk on water. I don't think that way anymore about either one of them. It's sad because there was two great law enforcement agencies and people respected them. People don't respect Kentucky State Police no more. They don't respect them. And it comes down to the governor and who the governor appointed to oversee the Kentucky State Police and what's going on under his administration. Nowadays, correct me if I'm wrong, troopers, recruiters, correct me. Nowadays, you can have drug convictions. Not only can you just have a GED, but you can have drug convictions for trafficking, for possession, for using drugs. Can't lie about it. If they give you a polygraph, just don't lie so they can say you're not truthful. Well, you're going to see other people that's not truthful and they're still on there. Stop dressing like the Casapo. You see these police officers, and not as much as state police, but I'm just talking in general now. Put those bulletproof vests back inside your shirts. You look like the Gestapo. You look like the gladiators. You look like a fight looking for a place to happen. 10 magazines? I know we're in a rough world anymore. 10 magazines, tasers, pepper spray. See, that's less lethal. Less lethal. Somebody said the other day they should outlaw pepper spray. They should outlaw tasers. No, they shouldn't. That's two good, less lethal weapons that police officers need. They come in handy. Less lethal. You don't have to fight. You don't have to get physical. You don't have to punch nobody. You don't have to get nobody in a chokehold. Tase them, pepper spray them. You escalate. If that don't work, you go to the next one. You go to the baton. But you don't go straight to from a fist fight to a gun. It's good to have those other elements there that a person can. Sorry, guys, it's my phone. Put those bulletproof vests back in your shirts. Look like the regular people you're with. Look like your neighbor. If you're getting out on something bad, you want to throw another one on over top of it, throw it on. Shave those beards. Guys, we got police officers out there that people they arrest cleaner cut and look better than the person that's arresting them. Sometimes you see both of them in civilian clothes, not undercover, just an off duty officer. And he looks like this. Go back to the military style. Go back to looking like presentable. Random drug testing. Random drug testing. Guys, we're going to get to these movies here in a minute. We're going to get to these. Hang with me 1 second. I know one guy said the other day, said, boy, fella can flap them jaws. I'm trying to give you my take on things. I'm sorry if I take too long, if I stray, this is Fred McCoy's take.
That's right.
And Sheila.
Well, this is more, like I say, it's more your expertise.
Random drug testing. Mandatory. Ever so often. Randomly. Grab you some officers. The biggest drug for police officers is probably steroids. Steroids, they want pumped up. But it also interferes with their personality, steroids does. Mandatory drug testing if the officer is involved in an altercation where the subject requires medical attention, especially. It'd be nice even if they're involved in an altercation, okay. But especially if the arrestee has to be taken to the hospital randomly or mandatory.
That's a good idea.
Drug test that officer just to make sure that he didn't escalate things because he's on a substance that he shouldn't be on. One bad apple makes all of them look bad. We know that. Police officers are all connected. I read on here, people says, I hate cops. I hate cops. There's no such thing as a good cops. I'm sorry, guys. There is. There is.
Cops.
There's good cops out there.
Sure.
There's good cops. And there'd be good cops on the state police if they had somebody in charge of those cops that was holding
them accountable.
Holding them accountable. Thank you, babe. Holding them accountable. Mainly one strike and you're out. When you see what these officers here have done, the majority of them, you're out. You're out the door. One strike and you're out. Okay. So we've got to train another officer. We got to go through the hiring process. Okay. It's better to do that than to pay one lawsuit that you're probably going to see on some of these. One lawsuit will pay for training 10 officers. You're better off to do that than you are to keep a bad apple, because what do I always say? A person's past will often predict their future. Now, I'm going to tell you something. Talk about holding secondary officers' feet to the fire. But, guys, I was a police officer for 40 years. If you think I didn't have people to resist, 5'7", 180 pounds, if you think I didn't have people resist, you're wrong. Whether they were drunk, whether they just wanted to fight, whether in the mountains, it's a ritual.
Yeah.
In Pike County, you're going to fight. They took me to jail but it took 5 of them. I got these 10 stitches. Broke my arm. That's their I don't know what it is, but I know it's a mountain tradition. The mountains is harder to police than somewhere else. It's just different breed of people. And they like to fight. And especially if they're impaired. So I've had my share of resistance. I'm not saying a police officer should be beat up or take abuse. Like I've said before, I had 2 mottos. I won't abuse you, but I won't let you abuse me. I'll be as good to you as you'll let me be. And that
That's
was it. I heard people before they'd say, hands up, don't shoot, hands up, don't shoot. Well, back in the Obama period, hands up, don't shoot, but yet you don't see none of them with their hands up. They're fighting like banshees. Put your hands up. You'll see. I ain't gonna say that because I seen one the other day on here, state trooper that grabs that guy and flings him to the ground, then tases him.
yeah.
He had his hands
Hands
up,
up.
hands behind
Mhm.
his back. So, but the majority of police officers are not going to assault you or do that. That's not the majority. That's a minority that does that kind of stuff. And he's going to be held accountable. He's been indicted federally, so he'll be held accountable. There's a difference in people saying, "Oh, he beat me up. He done this, he done that." Because people don't always tell the truth on police officers. We know that. But when you have videos and there's no doubt as to what happened, one strike, you're out. We're not going to tolerate it. It sends an example to the rest of your officers, Commissioner. It sends an example. Cuffs on, hands off. When the cuffs go on, the hands come off. No reason to abuse, attack, taser, pepper spray anybody handcuffed
Behind
handcuffed in front or behind their
yeah.
back. Yeah,
Either or. Yeah.
yeah. Cuffs on, hands off. Guys, we're not there to punish. We're not there to torture. We're not there to. That's not our job. What we going to beat? We're going to beat respect into people. I'll make you respect me. Next time the police comes, you better respect me. That's not the way we get respect.
Gotta earn it.
Hold secondary officers' feet to the fire. A secondary officer, primary officer is involved or punching somebody or beating somebody or doing something that he is misconduct. We know what they say one time, you know it when you see it. Well, you know abuse when you see it. And when you see it, you stop it. You do something about it. You report it and that lets everybody know that hey, if he's on the scene, guys don't hit nobody. Guys don't do nothing because he'll tell. That's okay. So what? You're a tattletale. Police officers are tattletales. If you haven't figured that out yet, police officers are your safety patrols in your school, your room monitors, your hall monitors.
Oh,
That
okay.
that's your tattletales. We tell. Police officers tell on things that you do wrong. Buying drugs, selling drugs, using drugs, driving drunk. That's what we do. So we're tattletales. So do we care if our fellow officer thinks we're tattletales? Because that's what he is. He's telling on all the civilians out here, all the people that's not police officers. What would keep us from telling on each other? That's no different. We're no different than the general public, or we shouldn't be. Let the bad cop be the minority. Right now, you got your good cops. That's the minority because of commissioners and supervisors and sheriffs and chiefs like that. They're the minority. They're afraid to speak up because there's so many, I don't want to say bad, but there's so many that bends the rules or bad. Let's just say bad. If they're not good cops, they're bad. There's so many bad cops now that the good cops are the minority. We've got to change that around. Juries can't take cops' words for anything anymore. Jurors, when you're sitting on these cases, be observant. Watch what these cops are saying. Watch what these attorneys are asking them. Just because they look good in a uniform and look neat and clean and squared away, that doesn't mean that doesn't give them character, honesty, integrity. It doesn't do it. Them cops up there beating them guys the other day, you might as well have a blue bandana tied around your head or a red bandana, Crips or Bloods, or you might as well belong to a gang. That's what gangs do to each other. Babe, speak up anytime if you don't let me.
I will. I'm good.
Abused with proof, contact a civil rights attorney. If you've been abused and there's a camera, there's video, there's proof, phone footage, that's the only way we're going to stop it is filing complaints, is suing police officers. We can stop it, but you've got to stand up and start letting them know that, hey, I might do this today, but I'm going to have to pay for it tomorrow. And it takes more than your word against theirs because,
Yeah.
again, people do lie. People do say things about cops that's not correct. Just because all cops are not honest doesn't mean all cops lie or are crooked. Common sense in pursuits. Get the tag and back off. We don't have to run people in the ground. Guys, they got a new law in Kentucky, and I love it. New law, mandatory, felony if you run from the police in a vehicle. There's so many innocent people that gets killed every year from a police and a bad guy chasing each other. Adrenaline pump, love it, fun. Cops love it. People getting killed from it.
Yeah.
All fun and games till somebody gets killed, and it's usually the innocent person. Get their tag number and back off. Don't take a chance on killing an innocent person to have a little bit of fun speeding down the road.
I
Common
agree.
sense. What, babe?
I agree.
People tased, pepper sprayed after cuffs are on. Contact the FBI. The FBI frowns on that. Civil rights violation. You can't do that. That's back in the slavery days. Put chains on somebody and then start beating up on them. White or black. I'm not a black and white person. Don't start the black stuff, the black comments, because whites get beat up as much as blacks do. And as many black cops beat white people as white cops beat blacks. Cops don't care. The cops that are doing the beating, they don't care if they're beating black, white, Indian, Hispanic. They want to beat somebody. They want to abuse somebody. Don't matter what color they are. Contempt of cop. You got rude with them. You did something that you shouldn't have done, in their opinion. Cops need more training. You hear people say all the time, "Oh, the cops need more training." Cops, they cops don't need more training. Cops need common sense. Cops need integrity, character, a heart. They need a heart. They need to know what common decency is about. Treating somebody with decency, not a fight looking for a place to happen. One strike and you're gone. Should be every police agency's policy. When there's a video, when there's theft, we're supposed to be honest.
Mhm.
Any of you ever stole something and the officer says, "Oh, don't worry about it. Just take it back. It'll be okay." No, that's not going to happen. But it happens with police officers. Rob a bank, get caught, and then when you get caught, say, "Hey, it's okay. I'm just going to take the money back down here to the bank." Does it work like that? KSP gets caught, they draw retirement. KSP gets caught. You're going to see them on here in a minute. Needs to stop, guys. Our governor and state police commissioner are not working for we, the people. Our governor, who appoints the Kentucky State Police Commissioner, Philip Burnett Jr. in this case, they're not helping, guys. They're not working for the people. Y'all can blame this guy here, and it is his fault. That's his men. But the governor appointed him. Did the governor appoint him because he's politically connected? Were they? Anyway, I feel you, baby. I don't know why the governor appointed him. Out of all the state police that I've known in my career, some of them still there, good troopers, good examples, disciplinarians, and they appoint this guy here, and the state police has gone to pot since he's been there. He's not truthful. He's not truthful, and I know this for a fact because since the Joseph Couch thing, that's when I really got involved because I realized that he's not truthful. He's not honest. Scotty Pennington, public relations officer in London, Kentucky. He's not honest. He's not trustworthy. He knew exactly who found Mr. Couch's body. He knew exactly, but they tried to fudge. They were embarrassed because they wanted to set out on the highway in their cruisers and their air conditioners. They didn't want to get out in them woods and get eat up with turkey mites and snake bit and all this and that. But when somebody else finds them, they want to lie and act like they did. And that's lying. That's not trustworthy. And then you read the reports that we got where they say they was with us, other troopers. Now that's their example. The commissioner's lying at a news conference. Scotty Pennington's lying on Facebook, on Twitter, and all these places. State police find, locate body. It's not hard to see. And then you see the police reports that the troopers right and they lie. That's when I realized that we got a problem with state police. And that's when I started researching, started looking. This is just what I've come up with. Imagine if somebody really spent some time doing this. Some people indicted doesn't mean convicted. Yet just wanted to clear on these cases we're going to cover here in a minute. Some of these people have been indicted. They haven't gone to trial yet. They may have played out. They may have. I don't know. I don't do an update that often, so but just keep that in mind. I haven't done a lot of updates. Some cases may not even be over, or they may be over now. Abuse has to stop. Can't punish. Defend ourselves, but can't punish no matter how mad we get. We're not there to punish people. KSP was once the cream of the crop. They're not anymore. And people are starting to wake up and people are realizing that. Sheila's going to go through these one by one. We're not going to cover them a long time. We've already been 32 minutes. Go ahead, Punk.
Okay. Here's your first one.
Guys, this one here was trooper attacks a handcuffed subject.
Mm-hmm.
Is it going to go through them or are you going to stop it on each one?
I'm going to stop it.
Yeah, that trooper, these videos are on Fred McCoy 40. You can go watch them. He gets them to the jail. The man's handcuffed behind his back. And the trooper, just for whatever reason, I don't care what these people says to us. They can say whatever. We're not the ones going to jail. They are. Of course they're upset. Most of them are upset at themselves for being so stupid, for doing whatever it was that got them arrested in the first place. They're not really mad at the officer as much. They may be taking it out at the officer, but they're upset at themselves. The trooper commenced to beating them. You'll see the video if you'll go to Fred McCoy 40. Here is your illustrious Kentucky State Police Commissioner. This is the man that's in charge, Colonel Philip Burnett Jr. And he's also on number 2 video when I first started making the videos. He's on the second video. And he arrested a man for pointing his finger at him. And arrested him for menacing or disorderly. And it was dismissed and a suit was filed. Next.
Okay.
Pleads guilty to perjury. This one here, I believe, is one of the officers that was involved in the house. I believe. I better not even comment on it. But anyway, this trooper, Kentucky State Police trooper, pleads guilty to perjury. So he's lied under oath. Now, a person's past often predicts their future, and a person's future may predict the past. So is this the first time he ever lied under oath? Has he ever arrested anybody and not told the truth in front of the jury or the judge? That's perjury. Go ahead.
Okay. I got a little bit of gap, so you can.
You're okay. This one here, I believe, is a female trooper. Does that say 3 Kentucky State troopers out of control? Yeah.
Yeah, that's where she jumped on the.
This one here, you would have to see this video to believe it. Now, these people, as far as I know, they are still Kentucky State Police troopers today. Imagine that.
Wow.
If you haven't seen this video, go watch this video. It's a female trooper, and she starts out, and then the other 2 troopers come to her. I ain't going to say rescue because she's not been assaulted. She's not been mistreated. It's her that is the aggressor. It's all three of them. And to think that these three, she may have quit and went to another department. I
No.
watched that video. It's a sad video to watch of Kentucky's finest.
Okay, here's the next one.
This one here, guys, y'all may have seen this trooper. He was off duty, gets out of his car on the highway somewhere where a road crew was at, and attacks the road crew. I mean, the video's there. Videos don't lie. He goes from one to the other, finally jumped on a female flag person, and the crew tackled him and took him to the ground and called the police. As far as I know, he's still a Kentucky State Trooper today. See if you want pulled over by this fellow. See if you want to have any interaction with him in that position.
Mhm.
Former trooper facing assault charges. I think that may also be one of the ones that was in the house when they was arresting the Hornback case. I could be wrong, but former KSP colonel sentenced to prison in gun theft. That there is Colonel Mike Crawford. Mikey.
Oh,
I worked with Mikey right out of the police academy in the 80s. Right out of the state police academy, he was sent to Pike County. That was his first duty station. His uncle, Gary Rose, was actually I think he was a sergeant at the time on the state police. He went on to become Post 9 commander. Gary Rose did. And he went on to become commissioner of the Kentucky State Police when Paul Patton, Pike County our judge executive, went to become governor. He took Gary Rose with him to be head of the Kentucky State Police. He would later fire Gary Rose. And but Mikey was his nephew. Mike Crawford went on to become sergeant, lieutenant, major, captain, colonel, head of the state police. He got caught up in stealing guns, $40,000, I think it was, of guns and ammo, and with I think two other state troopers. I think one of them was a prior state trooper, but he was the coroner at the time. But three of them was involved in it. And Mike went to a prison, federal prison. I think he's out by now. But went 20, 30 years as a trooper. And is this the first time? Is that the first time that that conduct happened? Or has there been other things throughout his career? You'll see another officer here in a minute stowed some fence. So, again, is it a common occurrence? Does it happen all the time and they sweep it under the rug? Is it a one time thing? I have a feeling that a person's past predicts their future, but go ahead. KSP trooper arrested. Robert Moster III, charged with misdemeanor child abuse. Reportedly kicked 8-year-old boy going to neighbor's house without permission. Released from jail on bond, arraignment set for Monday. I don't remember this one, so that's all I'll comment on. But there's the thumbnail. This one here, Kentucky State Trooper kicks a handcuff in the
looks like stuff.
back or something. I can't read the bottom. Y'all might be able to see it
Yeah,
on
I
your.
hope they can. I can't get it to
It's okay.
enlarge, so I'm sorry.
But anyway, this state trooper, you can see his foot. The guy's handcuffed behind his back. Good sized state trooper comes over there and kicks him. Now, what could that guy have been doing that was so bad that that officer felt so threatened? Actually, he called him a name.
Really?
From
So
what
this
I
one.
can remember, he called him
Go.
a bad name. And the trooper comes out and kicks a man who's handcuffed behind his back.
Wow.
Next. Kentucky State Police officer pleads guilty in case involving search. Kentucky State Police trooper pleads guilty in case involving illegal
Illegals.
search. Um, I don't remember this one, but the headlines speak for themselves. He pleads guilty. Whatever he done, he pled guilty to it. Now the question would be here: is this man still on the force? Is this man still a Kentucky State Trooper? Because it's possible that he is, PJ, especially under PJ, Philip Burnett Jr. You'll see a lot of these officers that's charged with crimes, pled guilty to crimes, found guilty of crimes, and he still has them as Kentucky State Police. That's what's policing us today. See, I don't care. See, a beginning state trooper gets like $65,000 a year now. Guys, for all you good college educated people out there that knows how to treat people, $65,000 a year starting out. That's not a bad salary. And they deserve every dime of it as long as they won't mistreat people and they're honest. Go ahead. Kentucky State Trooper steals ammo from governors.
Whoops.
That's okay.
switched.
That one there stole ammo out of the governor's mansion. They have a stock of extra ammo that they keep down there in case they ever have riots or need something. And from what I can remember of that case,
Wow.
again, you can go watch the video. Here's you one, guys, I thought was very interesting. 4 Kentucky State Police troopers caught in illegal steroid operation. You want to know why Kentucky State troopers are beating the crap out of people? My opinion, steroids. My opinion, steroids. Alters their personality, alters their behavior.
Yeah. Makes them angry, doesn't
4
it?
troopers went to Florida. If I remember this case correctly, they went to Florida to a pill mill, to a place in Florida to buy illicit drugs. Steroids are illegal. They're an illicit drug. Now, I don't remember the case real good, so I won't elaborate or I won't say who's who.
Yeah.
One of these 4 troopers got fired
Yeah. I thought.
because he lied to, I think it was PJ. He lied to him. He just tried to make an excuse like the other 3 said, well, they didn't know. I won't say the other 3. Somebody said, well, we didn't know they was illegal. We didn't know it was illegal to do that. We didn't know. They got caught in a sting operation by the ATF, the DEA, by somebody in Florida. I don't think they got arrested there. I think they just sent them back to the state police commissioner for interdepartment disciplinary action, which should have been out. 1 strike and you're out. They should have been arrested and charged criminally in Florida, just like they do any John Doe. Police officers are not above the law. It's not, if you think you're doing a fellow police officer, the thin gray line, the thin blue line, if you think you're doing them a favor by cutting them a break because of this is not a speeding charge. We know police officers get cut breaks for speeding from another officer. We know that. Speeding, have your own opinion about that. That's fine. That's not right, but they do it. But speeding and buying drugs, it's not even in the same category, guys. Go ahead, Punk. Gonna be a long video, guys. If you want to stick with us, 4 Kentucky State troopers caught in illegal steroid. There's another this was another report when they Kentucky State troopers hidden camera part 1 number 16. This story here had several. This is the Hornback case, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Had several videos to it because some of them's charged, some of them's when the troopers were charged with perjury, some's when they were sued, some's when they were charged criminally. This fella had his cell phone out. They arrested his son and they manhandled him. The son came out of the back room, no problem. And they grab him and flung him to the ground, start hitting them with flashlights, start punching them. They didn't know that this guy had cameras throughout his house. They were on film. Took depositions, sworn depositions. They lied under oath, charged with perjury. Go ahead, Punk.
Yep.
You'll see their names again because they were kept on the force and they went on to do other things again.
Another picture of them.
Another picture. And the dad is there with his cell phone in the red shirt. Kentucky State Troopers Hidden Camera, part 2, number 17. I used to number these videos and I quit numbering them because it was just, there's too many of them. Darren Stapleton, 2011. That's when he joined Facebook. A major with the Kentucky State Police. Kentucky State Police major faces state property allegations. faces state property allegations, not state property charges, not state criminal charges.
Mhm.
He faces allegations that he stole fence from the Kentucky State Police or from the state of Kentucky.
Wow. I
He
vaguely
stole
remember.
the fence from the and he put it on Facebook, if I remember correctly. Put it on Facebook for sale, and another trooper, a good trooper, from what I can understand, turned them in, ratted them out, if you want to call it that. Ratted them out, or stood with honor, integrity, character. That's what I call it. He's a whistleblower, and he blew the whistle. What did I think this was under PJ? May not be under Philip Burnett Jr. I think it's under him. Was he fired? Was he kicked off the force? Was he charged criminally? Nah. Bring that fence back, throw it back over the parking lot over there, and don't do that no more. Or at least don't do it on camera or where people can see you.
That was his. It says seller information. So he had a picture of him in his state police uniform.
That's on his Facebook page on Marketplace. He was selling it on Marketplace. Yeah. I don't know if
Wow.
he's a trooper today. I would say he's probably retired by now. I think this was 2 or 3 years ago. I
Mhm.
think he was ready for retirement then, or he may have even taken early retirement. I can't remember all these cases, guys. Kentucky State Police training material reference Adolf Hitler. This was Brewer, Rodney Brewer, I believe
Okay.
was his name. He was a trooper for years when I was detective. He went on to become the commissioner of the Kentucky State Police. See those eagles on
Mm.
his collar? Full bird colonel. He's and they were training at the police academy at the Kentucky State Police Academy. Something dealing with the Gestapo, something dealing with Adolf Hitler, and they let him go. If I'm not mistaken, I could be, but if I ain't mistaken, they let him go, and that's who Philip Burnett Jr. I think that's who he took his place with.
Well,
Well, if they didn't replace one with another. Next.
it's going.
This here is 8 Kentucky State Police troopers take a trip on taxpayers' dime. And this is the governor, and he's defending the Kentucky State Police, if I'm correct. Y'all can go watch the video. It's on there. There in the back with his hands crossed in front of him is PJ. That's Philip Burnett Jr. That is the head of the Kentucky State Police. Now, if I remember correctly, there was a whistleblower, a state trooper, that made a complaint on state police, 8 Kentucky State Police troopers take a trip. They went on vacation. They said they were going to training, and they were actually, I think they went to California or somewhere, uh, done different things. But the governor, if I remember correctly, the governor took up for them and justified it and so forth. No training material, no training aids, no hours, no roster, if I remember. Y'all
Wow.
can watch the video. Fred McCoy 40.
Wow.
There's Philip Burnett Jr. and the governor. FBI investigates Kentucky State Police trooper and deputies. This is number 21. FBI investigates Kentucky State Police trooper and deputies. I could be wrong, but I think this is where they handcuffed a guy after he's handcuffed and continue to beat on him.
Wow.
And that's what you do. You contact the FBI when that happens, especially when there's footage. Especially when there's footage. Go ahead, babe.
Mhm.
Kentucky State Police pay $900,000 to whistleblowers. Wow, great. Deserve every penny of it. That's Kentucky taxpayers' money there, guys. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong, but I think this is under Philip Burnett Jr.'s watch while he's been the state police commissioner. $900,000 to whistleblowers. You'll see another case in a minute, $130,000 to a beating, all kinds of settlements throughout. This is under Philip Burnett's. And even though a lot of this money comes from insurers, there's a premium to be paid for that insurance to have these officers bonded. So every time there's a lawsuit, that insurance premium to the Kentucky State Police, to the taxpayers of Kentucky, that goes up. We have to pay more to insure our police officers because they want to issue punishment or they want to do something that's not proper or correct. Or this case here may have even been a prejudice, not a prejudice, not racial, not race, but male and female. What am I trying to? What's the word I'm looking for?
Harassment?
No, no. Where they didn't treat the females the same as they
Oh,
did the males.
what is it
Uh,
called? DEI? DE?
no, ain't DEI. Anyway, go ahead.
I know what you're
They know what
saying.
we're talking about.
Equal rights thing.
Yeah, just trooper pleads guilty to lying under oath. See that flashlight? The other officer there's hitting him with his fist. This guy's beating him with a flashlight. They ask him under oath in depositions, did you have to strike him? No, no, sir. I didn't have to use an impact weapon. Didn't have to. He didn't resist. I didn't have to strike him. They beat the crap out of that old boy. They sure did. I
I,
think this is the one they paid 130,000 later on. We'll see.
I
Go ahead.
think so.
SP Trooper trial begins. London. Logan Howe is on, and four defendants sued by Brady Hamlin. Hamlin alleges officer beat him after. I don't remember this one. Kentucky State Troopers trial. They had a trial, looks like. So may want to follow up. If anybody finds any updates on this, post it on the bottom of the video. But the trial begins. So they did have a trial on that one. Kentucky State police troopers issue citations to churchgoers. This is your governor, guys. All you people that's crazy about your governor, Andy Bashir. This is your governor. This is your church people that went out to worship in the state of Kentucky during the COVID
Oh, is that what it was
thing.
for?
This is COVID. Governor told them to shut down all the churches.
Oh, wow.
There's people handles snakes in Kentucky because of their faith in religion in churches. And you think these people is going to be worried about catching COVID going to God's house? See the troopers there walking around? They're putting tickets and taking people's license plate numbers down so they could keep a record.
That's crazy.
Because who would you expect? I don't want to be political here, but this is going to sound political. But it's just like nowadays when you see somebody with a mask, it ain't hard to see they're wearing a mask around. I feel you, babe. But I mean, the truth's the truth.
Yeah.
I'm not saying something either way.
Okay.
But you see somebody wearing a mask still yet today, you know that's not probably a Republican. And it's just like right then, when you seen these people gathering to go to church services, these were probably not Democrats. Andy Bashir, the governor, is a Democrat. And these people that's defying his order to stay at home and not go to God's house were probably more than likely, or the majority, in my opinion, could be wrong, were probably Republicans. So he sends the state police out, his organization, personal police force, to issue tickets and take tag numbers. It's not correct. It's not right. No matter what party we are. Man allegedly overdosed in patrol vehicle. Clay County 9-year-old Sean Gibson arrested during a traffic stop, allegedly overdosed while in custody.
Wow.
I don't know if he's deceased. I don't know if he lived. I don't have an update on that. Fred McCoy 40 if you want to see the video.
Well,
Sorry guys, it takes so long to change.
yeah.
Critical incident unit formed. This is an interesting video. I don't remember it, but I'm sure I remember mostly what I said. The guy on the far right, well, recognize the guy there on the from the left, second from the left, big tall guy's Alex Payne. That's a Kentucky State Trooper. He also came to Pike County when I was a detective there in the 80s.
I remember.
Right out of the police. Oh, sure.
He
Alex
came
used
to
to
our
come.
house. Yeah.
Sure. Him, Mike Crawford, all of them was. But Alex came to Pike County right out of the police academy, and that's where he started his career in the Kentucky State Police. And I was a detective then, me and Paul Hatfield. Helped show these guys around in their first years. They went on to become, Alex was big in the Kentucky State Police in years later and still in law enforcement today, I believe.
He used to do part of our school training
He went on to work at the
that
Kentucky
we
Department
have
of
to
Criminal
do.
Justice
He did one of them.
in charge of the CCDW. Yeah.
Because I remember him being on the video that we had to watch.
This video on the far right's who I want to talk about. That guy on the far right was the acting Kentucky State Police Commissioner at this time. This should have been around 2017 or 2018.
Hmm.
That's Rick Sanders. Rick Sanders. He was the acting commissioner of the Kentucky State Police. I was in a police chief's class in service. Nothing but police chiefs, sheriffs, assistant chiefs, deputy chiefs, and state police administrators were in this executive classes. There's probably 100, 150 chiefs and sheriffs and state police in there. During this class in 2017, 2018, Rick Sanders stood up and he said, and you guys from London, Kentucky, this may be something of interest to you with the Doug Harless case. Because I remember sitting there and he stood up and he said he wanted to tell all the sheriffs and chiefs of police that the Kentucky State Police has now started an organization, Critical Incident Unit, they were going to call it. And it was going to be for the Kentucky State Police. See, the Kentucky State Police loves being on top, and that's fine. But they love being the upper echelon, and they always have been and were. But up to this point, you didn't, and you still don't have to. A police department does not have to call in the Kentucky State Police to investigate shootings, beatings. They don't have to call in. They don't have to request the state police. They do that because they want to. They want to take the heat off their back. London PD, police department, did not have to call in Kentucky State Police to take over their case. They could have investigated that, and probably as bad as some people feel about them and all this and that, I won't go there. I feel broken. So Rick Sanders started this unit called the Critical Incident Unit, and he stands up and says, for all you chiefs and sheriffs, if you have a shooting, you have something go wrong in your city, your county, if you want to call and request the state police to take over the investigation, we'll do it for you. We're not going to come running in there, crashing there, trying to arrest a bunch of officers or whatever happened and all. But it will look a lot better when you're talking to the media for you to say, we've turned it over to the state police and the state police are investigating. So it don't look like you're investigating yourself. That was his words, almost verbatim. I'm sure out of 150 officers or so, somebody remembers whether I'm telling the truth or not. I have no reason to lie. I saw Rick Sanders a while back. I think he's the police chief in E-Town or somewhere. He's the police chief somewhere in northern Kentucky. And they had a shooting, a car wreck, a pursuit, something happened. And Rick Sanders' words to the media, it's only been a few months ago, so you can check me. He told the media, he said, listen, we want everything to be transparent. We have asked for the state police to come in and investigate this. We're not even going to investigate ourselves. So the people that's investigating ever what that incident is now is the people. That's the unit that Rick Sanders there started. I don't know why he left the state police. He was only acting commissioner, I believe. I don't think he was ever the. And that may be who Philip Burnett took his place. Who
I
knows?
don't know.
Go to the next
We
one.
can maybe search
I've
it
got to
and
move
figure it out.
along. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Takes so long. Police officer pursues Kentucky into Kentucky. Car crashes. Officers hightail it back. Go ahead. Next one. I think that's where they pursued into Kentucky and Kentucky joined in. Kentucky State Police troopers say one thing on camera, but another. Guys, watch this video, but if I remember correctly, that's where these two troopers are out there and they either shoot at or they shoot some guy and they shoot their guns. And then the other one says, did you shoot? And he said, yeah, I shot, or 2 rounds, or whatever he says. I don't remember.
Wow.
But yet when it come up for the report or the media or somebody, they said no shots were fired on their end or something.
Whoa.
I think they missed the guy. I don't think there it is. Did he get any rounds off? And they're shooting at this guy down there. This is another video.
Wow.
Kentucky State Police say one thing on camera, but another on their body cams. They forgot their body cams were on.
Oh.
And they told the news media one thing, but their body cams, I believe. Go ahead, babe. You guys can go watch these videos, guys. They're on Fred McCoy. Kentucky State Police troopers say one thing. It's another video. So this is another video on top of that. Kentucky State Police major stolen property. Go ahead.
He returns it, yeah.
Is that what it is? Says
Returns
return.
stolen property.
Kentucky State Police trooper falsifies timesheets and is suspended. Now,
Whoa,
if I remember correctly on this trooper, I could be wrong again. Go watch the videos. This trooper was clocking in while he's at his house. He was supposed to be out on I 75, sitting at the road construction while they're repaving I 75. And you know how you have a trooper at each end slowing traffic down so nobody gets hit by a car. He's supposed to be on that kind of duty. Thousands and thousands of dollars in overtime is paid for that. And that's figured in to the highway departments, to the people that's paving the road, especially if it's private contractors. They charge for that so they can pay the police. He was at his house. A news crew went out and would film him at his house.
remember that,
Yeah.
yeah.
And he stole thousands and thousands of dollars from the Kentucky State Police on overtime that he said was work. He was at his house. Now, if I ain't mistaken, this was Philip Burnett Jr., the commissioner of state police. This was during his time. And he put this man here. He didn't fire him. He didn't charge him criminally, make him pay back the money that he had stolen. He puts him in the supply room of the Kentucky State Police. If I'm not mistaken, this is one of the troopers that was with Mike Crawford or was in on it when they stole $40,000 worth of guns and ammo from the Kentucky State Police armory.
Wow.
I could be wrong. Watch the story,
Mhm.
but I believe that's the same trooper. Had they fired him, let him go, he would have never been in the supply room. They would have never been no stolen guns or ammo.
Wow, that's interesting.
It's in one strike and you're out, guys. Kentucky State Police troopers, FBI investigate excessive force. KSP troopers indicted.
For excessive force.
They
yeah.
were indicted for excessive force.
Guys,
It's not just excessive force, guys. Usually, when you see charges like this, and especially from the FBI, it's because the person was handcuffed.
wow.
You know, at Ron White, the comedian,
Oh,
says they was coming to arrest him one time, and said he didn't know how many. Said there was 10 police officers showed up. He didn't know how many it was going to take to arrest them, but he knew how many they were going to use, and that's about them. They have a pile on. Everybody's got to get a lick in. Everybody's got to, and that's because the good cops have become the minority. The minority. And you feel helpless. You feel helpless. Now, I'm the first one to fight if they fought and was resisting legally and you had the right to effect the arrest. But when the resistance stopped, the fight stopped. Kentucky State Police trooper falsified. There he is. He's getting in his police car.
reassigned. Yeah.
That's the one we on a while ago. That's at noon. He was supposed to be out there at 6 o'clock that morning
Mm-hmm.
monitoring the highway on I-75 while they paved the road. He's at home. He didn't go to work till, I ain't gonna say noon. I don't know what time it is. You have to watch the video, but it was several hours later.
That's again the
Kentucky State Police pay. How much was it? That's okay. Kentucky State Police paid a settlement
I'll
to the
type it up
Hornback
again.
family. Captain, Kentucky KSP captain charged with
As you can see,
RAPE and assault or Gomorrah. There was a city in the Bible, something in Gomorrah. He was charged with RAPE and that. Next court date, February 28th.
Mhm.
I think if I ain't mistaken, this trooper this was post commander at one time. And I think at one time he had charges in 2 different counties, Johnson County
yeah.
and Floyd County, maybe McGoffin County, something like
I
that.
think it was McGoffin, but not sure.
Go ahead.
But you are correct on being charged in 2 different places.
Kentucky State Police troopers on governor's security detail. Wait, now, guys, this woman here is not charged. Well, she did ultimately get charged with something, but she's not a state trooper.
No.
She was having an affair with Paul Patton, the governor of Kentucky, during this time. But the sad thing about this, not only that the governor's having an affair, the governor's on governor's time, but that he's using a Kentucky State Police security detail to sit in the parking lot while he rendezvous at the hotel so many times, I forget, many times,
Mhm.
to meet with his lover to have an affair for hours and hours and hours while they sit in the parking lot. Now, we talked about whistleblowers a while ago. Did the troopers not know what was going on? Or because if you know about something and you don't correct it, if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. But Kentucky State Police troopers were on security detail for him, guarding the parking lot while the governor's inside the hotel room with this lady. Update: Trooper assaults road crew. That's just an update on that guy from earlier. I don't remember what the update was, but there it is. One former, two current Kentucky State Police troopers indicted on federal civil rights violation. Kentucky State troopers federally indicted. Two still on the job. Guys, if y'all can believe this, and this is under Philip Burnett, if I'm not mistaken, three state police officers are indicted federally. Two of them still on the job. They're under a federal indictment.
Mhm.
The United States Attorney's Office has indicted, the FBI has investigated, and they've taken it to the U.S. Attorney's Office, and they've taken it for the grand jury, and they've been indicted. And two of them still on the job. Who would keep two troopers on the job that's already been indicted for violating somebody's civil rights? Who would do that? Go ahead, babe.
That's the same trooper
SP trooper indicted in two counties,
for
RAPE and Gomorrah,
Mhm.
on juvenile. That used to be the Post 9 commander in Pikeville, Kentucky. That was the commander of the state police post. He was in charge of every trooper that worked out of Pikeville, Kentucky, if you can believe that. Please taste man's testicles, nothing but punishment. Go ahead. That's on Fred McCoy 40, but I'm not sure. Kentucky State Police faces lawsuit in deadly crash. Police pursued Rodney Richards. Richards struck a car, killing himself and a teenager inside. Lawsuit filed by the teen's family.
Father and daughter are killed.
Is that what it says?
Yeah,
Yo,
it says Kentucky State Police sued father and daughter dead.
wow.
So, yeah.
Guys, if you can get there to any police officers, I don't know that I'd get any police officers. I know I do because there's some good officers out there and officers that agree with what we do and what we say, and especially since the Johnny Edrington case. So, but if you get in pursuit and you can get a tag number, get them another day. Go get a warrant. Go to his house.
There you go.
Don't kill an innocent person. Kentucky State Trooper indicted and arrested. I don't remember what this one was on, guys, but he's indicted and arrested. That's a Kentucky State Trooper there, and
Wow. I don't remember what he did. Do you?
I think it was a domestic, and I think he was even.
He
I don't
was
want to speculate.
Yeah, was that the one with the two different cars? He was in one car, the
At a
swap was in
church
another?
lot. I
Yeah,
think so. And I think he was intoxicated, but I don't think they charged him with.
yeah.
No, I'm videotaping this. But Evans is thrown to the ground. Lawsuit accuses KFC. I'm getting hungry, guys.
Now this guy looks like
KSP.
he's handcuffed.
He is. That's one we saw the other day. This is the one that was just indicted. This is that trooper that's just been indicted recently.
Oh,
Kentucky State Trooper,
he was
excessive force.
that was the one that said
Grab
was
the other
Trooper of the
guy.
Year.
Trooper of the Year.
Yeah,
We'll see it.
yeah. I got you.
Guys, I hope this is holding your interest. I hope you all realize by watching this what we're up
This right here might
against.
be the end right here because it ain't coming up. Nothing else is coming
Okay.
up. So we
Well,
are at the end.
great. That's good. That's just a minute and hour and 10 minutes.
All right,
Guys,
here we go. I'll get you going.
you're good.
There.
Good.
Now.
Guys, that man right up there in that far right hand corner from where I'm sitting, over Sheila's head, can open the Johnny Edrington case. He has the key to the Johnny Edrington murder case. You know, I'm talking about state troopers here. These are bad troopers, or at least they've been accused of bad things or indicted, or like I said, I don't know all the follow ups to all of them. Everybody's innocent until proven guilty. But supposedly these are bad troopers. Johnny Edrington was a good trooper. Worked out of Post 11 in London, Kentucky. Good trooper.
Yep.
37 years ago. Case is locked away in a filing cabinet. Murder never been brought to justice or murderers. Why? Why are we afraid to open the case? Why are we afraid to investigate? Why are we afraid to go talk to new people that this case wasn't investigated correctly? People made prejudgments. They made they call it a S side before his body was cold. They'd already called it a S side before his body was cold. We've got video on top of video on top of video on it. No 357 Magnum stayed in his hand, especially in the wrong hand. Man was murdered. That guy there has the authority. You would think. I feel you. Okay. Guys,
Yeah.
thank you for joining us. Sheila, you got anything to say? Don't let
No,
me.
like I say, when we do videos like these, this is more your
This is
expertise
my
your
Ed McMahon,
territory.
guys. This is my backup. A whole lot better than Ed, looking than Ed McMahon, though,
I
I'll
don't
tell
know
you.
about that, but
Oh, yeah. Hey, guys, thanks for joining us.
thanks for watching, guys.
We
So,
love our police agencies.
yes, we can.
We
We have to have them.
federal, state, county, city. Guys, we got to do better. I'm talking to you police officers.
Yeah.
We got to do
Everyone.
fight. If you have to fight, you have to fight. I don't want nobody out there getting hurt. I wouldn't get hurt.
Exactly.
This is a job that requires you sometimes to fight. Now, you people on them comments can comment all you want to about pigs and about abusing people just because if you're breaking the law, we have to live by the law of the land. And if you're breaking the law and they're legally arresting you, go with them. And if they're not, go with them anyway and sue them later on. You're not going to win by fighting a police officer because there's going to be more and more and more. You're going to jail. Sue them. Go get a good lawyer and sue them if they've done something wrong. But you can't fight the law. I fought the law and the law won. And that's the way it is. And when you fight, you only make it worse on yourself because now you even look more guilty when you go to court because now you fought the law.
You resist it.
You guys quit fighting. If they're doing something wrong, take them to court, sue them, and police officers quit punishing people. Arrest them, handcuff them, take them to jail, charge them, let the courts, prosecutors, and the jury do the rest. That's
right.
what our job is. Other than that, thank you guys.
Hope you all doing well. Please like, subscribe, and share. And we'll catch you on the next one. God bless.
God bless.